guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Amaka of Skybell Beauty, and today's video is a different yummy looking one. Today we're going to be making Ghanaian stew. Actually, my friend helped me make this, so I wanted to learn how an average Ghanaian would make their stew. So let's get into the ingredients. So first, you're going to need tomatoes, pepper, onions, garlic, ginger, and tin or sachet tomatoes, green pepper, bakoshito, adobo, and cube seasoning, onga stew, curry powder, salt, chicken, groundnut oil. So these are some of the things you would need. So first off, we would wash and dice the onions and the ginger and the garlic ready for blending. So that's our tomatoes we're going to use for the stew. And if you look closely, you can see that there are various sizes of pepper. So the really small pepper is the really small size is what Ghanaians call bakoshito. So just dicing the onions in smaller chunks, getting it ready to be blended. And you want to do this to kind of allow for ease of blending basically. And the reason why you can see it in water is because it has to be soaked with salt. You know, this Rona season, we have to be very careful about our food and hygiene. And also the garlic and ginger is being diced. I noticed that Ghanaians don't she says there's no need to clean the back of the ginger, so you just blend it like that. It's healthy. So this is what the blended puree looks like. Next up, we have the salt water and the onions. So we're going to soak tomatoes in there before we blend it. This is groundnut oil with the puree, the one we did earlier with the onion, ginger, and garlic. And you're just going to fry this for a few minutes. The reason why you're doing that is so that it can release all its spices into the oil and serve as a nice base. So this is about 5 minutes later. You can see it's really frying very well. And now it's time to add your tin tomatoes, or in this case sachet tomatoes, and you also fry that as well. So you give it a good stir after the first few minutes of adding it, just to make sure that it's well mixed in with your puree. After a few minutes, like 3 minutes, you come back again and give it a good stir. Now add the freshly blended tomatoes and stir it and leave it to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. We move on to spicing or seasoning the chicken that will be added to the stew. So here you can see adobo spice is being used, and then Benny chicken curry spice is being added as well. Everything is being eye dropped, so you basically want something that would saturate all your chicken pieces. And this is fresh rosemary, and for this you don't have to add a lot. Seasoning cube of your choice, any brand will do, just 1 cube. And then you add a little bit of water and very little salt, because she says there's already a lot of saltiness in the other spices. Now we take the remaining puree. Make sure you have enough because you're going to need it along the way. This is the same puree we did earlier. You take it and you add it to your chicken. So once the chicken is ready, boiled for about 20 minutes, it's time to fry. So at this point, it's time to season the stew. So we'll go back in with the adobo seasoning and any seasoning cube of your choice. And oh, I forgot to add the clip of the onga seasoning stew. So after about 10 minutes of boiling, you come back and add a little bit of rosemary, not too much because it's quite strong, and then give it a little bit of a stir and allow it to cook even more for an additional 10 minutes. Once your stew has cooked for an additional 10 minutes, now it's time to take a break from it and work on your other seasoning. So in this case, I would like to add pomo, which Ghanaians call wele or cowhide, and that's what we have boiling here. So we just put this puree as spicing and allow it to boil for about 20 to 30 minutes. I like mine super soft. And for my fish stew, for my red fish, I have the same puree. However, I had it poured in a bowl and I kept it in the fridge for 2 days so that it would really marinate very well. So that's what we have here. This is just about 5 pieces of red fish marinated for over 2 days. And now I am going to fry my fish. I'm actually frying yam on the side as well. However, but I'm going to fry my fish. I put a little bit of flour in the oil so that it doesn't stick to the pan and it doesn't break apart. And I'm just frying it. Make sure it's golden brown on one end, and then you flip it over and fry the other side. Make sure, I like mine really dry, so I let it really dry before I flip it over. Sometimes I may even flip it back a third time so that both sides are very dry. And oh, I forgot to mention that Ghanaians don't necessarily boil their fish. They just marinate it and go ahead to fry. Or sometimes they may slice the fish and insert the spice into it and fry or grill it, which works as well because fish is really soft. You want to leave this on for about 1 to 3 minutes max and it will be ready. So I'm just going to do a little bit of time lapse showing how I fried the fish. I think that was a really interesting and fun creative thing to do, just to see how it goes. And you can add your chicken stock, your beef stock, or whatever stock you want into the stew and mix it, and your Ghanaian stew is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.